Hello board game brothers and sisters, welcome to this series I do each week to go over interesting Kickstarters that are going to be launching within the next 7 days. This is not a comprehensive list, so make sure to leave a comment for any Kickstarters I might have missed. All games and launch dates are to the best of my knowledge, but I do maintain a Reddit post that I'll post any updates or changes. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. For each one of these games, I'm going to put a poll in the right side of the screen so you can let us know if you're going to be backing this one or if you find it interesting or not at all. So check that out if you want to see what other people have to say as well. So on April 27th, we have the 𝗏𝗺𝗲 𝗏2114, and this is a 1-to-4 player cooperative miniatures game where players will hunt deadly machines in a post-apocalyptic world. You'll play through different missions that can combine into a full campaign. Each mission allows for players to level up and adjust their gear for the next one. On April 28th, we have Guards of Atlantis 2, and this plays 4 to 10 players and it's a team-based MOBA style game. This is a complete overhaul to the original game with 21 new heroes and a new game board. In this game, each player controls a single hero and uses a hand of cards to control that hero. Your goal is to help your minions reach the enemy base and capture it. Minions are units that are not directly controlled by a player, but defeating enemy minions earns you coins which you can use to level up and upgrade your hero. Next we have Mini Express, which is sort of a sequel to Mini Rails. In this game, 3 to 5 players will try to collect influence points to gain the most victory points from their stock. Players can only take out 2 actions, either expand a company's railroad or take a stock tile for that company. The publisher says that this is a simple but deep game that they believe will fit both family game and light strategy. Next we have Tiny Ninja Heroes, where 1 to 2 players command their clan of 5 ninjas, including a selected hero. Dice are used to track the positioning and the health of each ninja. Players acquire items, shields, and energy to perform special abilities. Your goal is to eliminate your opponent's hero to claim victory. This is the second game in the Tiny Ninja universe. Also on the 28th, we have Intrepid, which is an asymmetrical cooperative game for 1 to 4 stranded astronauts. Players must work together to survive on the International Space Station each round, all while working to resolve the disaster they're currently facing. Next we have Adventures in Neverland, which is a competitive story-driven game for 2 to 4 players, but also comes with 1 cooperative story mode. Each turn, players will take 3 actions to explore Neverland and interact with the player and non-player characters. Each game results in a different story based on the player's decisions and actions. And then we have Resident Evil 3, the board game, and this is a cooperative survival horror game for 1 to 4 players. This can be played either through one-shot scenarios or as a 19+ hour campaign with an overarching storyline. And then we have Rise of Tribes, Beasts and Bronze, and this is a set of 2 expansions for the original Rise of Tribes game. The Beasts expansion is a deck of animal-themed events that can be played alone or mixed into the original event deck. Players will face off against crocodiles, cave bears, and wolf packs, along with many other creatures, some helpful and some to be avoided. The second part of this campaign is the Bronze expansion, which provides a new path to victory. Complete the task to acquire trade routes, metallurgy, and writing for players to immediately advance to the Bronze Age and win the game. So the last game I have for the 28th is Steampunk Rally Fusion, and it plays 2 to 8 players, and it's a standalone game that can be combined with the original Steampunk Rally. It introduces new tracks with unique event cards, new part abilities, and a new card type called the Secret Projects. The new Secret Projects card is going to allow you to create new inventions to power your vehicles and upgrade them. So I have a few for you on April 30th, and the first one is So You've Been Eaten, and this is a game for 0 to 2 players. 1 player can play as a human and 1 as the beast. The 0 player count is just a silly way to say that either side can be automated with AI, but in a normal game, 1 player will play as the space miner, mining for crystals inside the belly of the beast. Your goal is to gather enough crystals to meet your quota without getting digested. The other player will play as the beast, deploying bacteria to try and digest the human. There's always the possibility that the miner will simply pass through the beast system unharmed. In this case, the player with the most victory points wins. The next game is called Daimyo, and it plays 2 to 4 players who are going to compete to become the new emperor of Japan. There are several ways of getting victory points, and it's up to you to try them all or focus on 1 or 2. You can attack your opponents, spend your gold to enroll heroes, expand your territory, or choose the right colored dice at the right moment to go deeper into the mystic paths of the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And the last one I have for you for April is Amble Tournament Foundation, and this is a deck building game where 2 to 4 players pair off in teams. to build their deck and compete in friendly combat using a simultaneous reveal to resolve rounds. Foundations is the first set released, so expect more in the future. So for May 1st, we have 𝗚𝗵𝗲𝗋𝗀 3, and 𝗚𝗵𝗲𝗋𝗀 3 is a deck building game for 2 to 4 players in the 𝗚𝗵𝗲𝗋𝗀 series. It introduces 6 new animal folk decks, and it can be played by itself or combined with the other games from the 𝗚𝗵𝗲𝗋𝗀 series. So at this point in the video, I'm going to share some campaigns that I thought were interesting last week that I decided to back. And the first one is Dice by Wormwood, and I'm backing this mostly as a collector. I think these dice look really cool. They come in a bunch of different materials, and I think they're fairly reasonably priced. And they just look really nice. There's a lot of options, and I like to have a few premium goodies laying around just to keep the game room interesting. And the next campaign I backed is Lords of Vegas 10th Anniversary. This is an expansion campaign, but you can also get the core game with it as well. And I just backed this one for $1 because I know there is going to be a few more items in the Pledge Manager, and I'd really just like to see what the options are and make my decision at a later date. I'm not 100% sure I'll be backing this one, but it is an interesting game to me. I haven't played it yet, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. I make these videos for fun and don't get paid, so make sure to hit that like button if you found it useful, and make sure to subscribe so you can get these updates every week. That's all I have for you today, so remember to keep that shelf cluttered and the table quarantined.